Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. What is up? How is everybody doing today? It is Thursday, aka Dominic's and MP's Friday. We are here, y'all. We've reached the prequend. What's up, Mama Bear? Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome back. Day two with the Mama Bear in the house. Um, yeah, so the other day you said your mother is staying with you until February. That's a long time. That's a really long time. We call it Friday Eve. I love that better. Um, and
What's up, Dom?
it's under good circumstances and not bad, but that's really cool. I hope your kids enjoy that. Um, yeah. Good morning. Hey, Jason, how you doing? We standing
Good.
up at our desk today?
No, I'm sitting.
We just trying to check if Jason has pants? Or are we doing this whole Dr. Feelgood's not in here, so we're not going to run the.
The slow reveal.
Got it.
This is awkward.
Now your camera's too high.
Hang on. Going down.
What are you doing?
Here we go. Like a robot coming out of the ground. Pacific Rim. Tom, what are you thankful for today? I thought a lot about our talk yesterday.
You did?
Yeah.
Good stuff. So today in my gratitude journal, I definitely shouted out my wife and my in-laws. This has been one of those weeks where I couldn't quite schedule things the way I wanted to. Had some Pete afternoon meetings that would run long, and so I asked my wife if it was cool if I just spent the night out here the last 3 nights and didn't come home. She was gave me the thumbs up, and so that means she has been holding it down now for 4 straight days with the controlled chaos we call home. Um, and then, thankful for my in-laws for giving me that space and freedom and never complaining and always welcoming me with open arms and, you know, not bothering me, like giving me my space to, just basically just go there, have a snack and crash. Like watch some Netflix and crash. They don't they don't always, sometimes we have chats and but they don't take my space. Like they just let me be and go to bed, and they're just very
Sweet.
sweet. And yesterday I came there and they forgot to remind me, and I forgot to remember that they were having a family dinner for um one of the aunts, my father-in-law's sister. It was her birthday, and so I walk in, at like 7 o'clock, and the house is full of people, and there's food everywhere. And I just looked at them and I'm like, oh shoot, that was today. And they were very much like, yeah, I guess we forgot to remind you.
And this was your in-laws.
This is my in-laws house, yeah. And so my father-in-law and mother-in-law, Amy's parents live there, and then her brother, his wife, and their son came, and then Amy's aunt. And that's the local family, like that's Amy's local family that lives in this town. All the rest of them are kind of spread out. They used to all be in Wisconsin, but and Maryland, but they've kind of like spread out to a whole bunch of different states now: Florida, Seattle, Tennessee, like. But that's her little local crew. So when we get together for Thanksgiving and Christmas, that's who's always there. And they were all there last night, and they were like, "Where were you?"
That's awesome. That's even better that you walked into a place you weren't expecting and it was almost like they were expecting you.
Yeah, I think they just probably assumed that I wasn't coming, or they just forgot about me, which is totally fine. Like I don't, I was sitting here working. I got a proposal I got to present next week, so I was working, and I forgot to put it in my calendar. Like they invited me a week or two ago. Yeah,
Awesome. I'm
grateful for
glad.
my
I'm glad
girls
you felt.
becoming
I'm glad you felt
friends.
welcomed.
Yeah, yeah. What about you, man? Thankful and grateful for what today?
Um, I had to go pick up Kristen from the airport last night, and I was just listening back to a few of this week's shows. I do it because I like to think about how to keep the flow going. You know, am I saying like too much? Am I stuttering? Am I repeating things that I've
Hmm.
already said beginning of the show? Those things, but when I picked up Kristen in the past, I would switch off because I feel like it's weird to listen to my shows that I'm
To yourself.
talking in with somebody else in the car.
Yeah.
But I kept it going because we talked about like laundry and acknowledgement and all that yesterday. I kind of wanted to hear it. I wanted her to hear it because I think in my head I thought she would appreciate that I was saying this out in public.
Yeah.
And before we got to that part, she was like, "You're listening to yourself on you're listening to yourself." I'm like, "Yeah." It's like that's kind of weird. I'm like, "Why?
You're like, you didn't get to the good part.
You don't like listen to your calls or something when you're on business or whatever?" Anyway, as I was doing that and I was sitting in the lot, I was rereading through all of the texts or the chat here, and sometimes it's hard to acknowledge our friends in the chat here, and I just want to make some shout outs to Mama Bear and David because I was reading through everything they were sharing yesterday. Mama, you were getting pretty deep into things that was going on with your family. Um, just things that like I wish I my goal is to acknowledge those things a little bit more as we're yapping.
Yeah. No, I agree. Sometimes we get on a little rant and we get going, and I try to at least highlight, while you're talking, and highlight while I'm talking without distracting myself or losing the topic or the conversation that you and I are having.
Mhm.
But the chat definitely, can pop off, and they're they're all wonderful, smart humans that, arguably have more and drop more better knowledge than we do. So, recognizing everybody there, and uh trying to stop our little conversation and like pull into theirs is sometimes a important but difficult task.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, you all of you are carving out a little bit of time to want to join us. That's cool. And you
Hmm.
guys are cool. And I really appreciate you. And I'm thankful for your presence, even if it's just through words and typing. So so that's my gratitude.
Good stuff. Good stuff. I don't think David shared his, which is um getting to the point where his daughters feel free to contact him at 2 in the morning to Uber them home because maybe they've had a little too much to drink at the club,
Hmm.
which I think is a somewhat of a response to Mama Bear's, being thankful that her 16-year-old and her 12-year-old daughter are challenging each other, but also figuring out this version of friendship. And I agree, it's super cute. I have a 17-year-old and a 12-year-old, and it's very much the same thing. They butt heads, they challenge each other, um, but then they really get along and they have good times together. And they're each other's, let's say, like more like a backup friend, like a writer. Like if they don't have anyone to hang out with, like they can always know that they can count on each other if they're feeling lonely or need some interaction. But
Yeah.
obviously they're going to go for their, friends their same age, that kind of stuff first and foremost. But yeah, it's cool.
Yeah. I wonder if they even realize that they default to each other. Me and Ryan were not like that growing up. I don't think I would. I don't think me and Ryan were. There's very few memories I have of me and Ryan actually hanging out. That wasn't like doing a chore or being in the house or
Yeah.
sharing something. That was really, that didn't start happening until like we were in our 20s. So I'm really glad to hear that about your kids and David's kids and mom's kids, and I'm assuming everybody else's kids have.
I imagine it goes through cycles. Like
Yeah.
there's going to be a big disrupt when, Bailey goes off to college or moves out of the house or whatever, and Brooklyn's still here. There obviously will be a big disrupt in situations like, you and Ryan living in completely different states, um, and your connection being a little bit more distant. But yeah,
hmm Go.
absolutely.
Oh, you beat me. You owe me a Coke. um, Last night I was down in the basement doing some work after dinner, and my girls were doing that. They were playing with each other with a volleyball up in our play area, and I'm surprised nothing is broken because like there were like just loud slaps of the ball against the wall.
Mm,
I almost got up numerous times to calm it down, but I was like, I don't hear this often, so I'm going to let it roll until I hear glass shattering or crying.
yeah, yeah. It's like when they're actually like having that fun and doing those kind of things, especially together. It is. It's one of the things that we have to do as parents is like hold it, like watch it, enjoy it, appreciate it, wait for it to get out of hand or break. And the amount of times that it just kind of fizzles out and like they finish their thing and they've had fun and they've exhausted themselves versus it ending in a fight or a breakage is kind of like worth those times where it ends in a fight or a
Mhm.
breakage. Like stuff ends in a fight. Like they got to learn to fight. They got to learn to argue, and stuff breaks, and we all have to learn to, let go. There's a stoic saying where, one of the main stoics, his expensive lamp gets stolen, and his response is, well, I'll just go buy a cheap lamp. Like, just, if you have stuff in your house that is that valuable and you don't want it to break, and you have young children,
Then you're just a bad person.
just, be responsible enough to know that you're running that risk, or put it away, like
Mhm.
away. Like,
Yeah.
you don't have to display your fancy china when you have a 2 to 6 year old. You can just wait till they become 12.
Yeah.
They can still break it then, but
Keep it in that box in the basement. And you get to put things back together again, both metaphorically and physically.
yeah.
And then that cracked frame or cracked picture,
Or you
you'll
can go
realize
shopping.
what happened. Say it again.
I said, or you can get to go shopping.
You get to go shopping, Dom. Thank you for segueing into
You
today's theme.
you
Uh,
reduce some clutter.
yeah. So today we're talking about all the things that we do that are probably your default frame of mind is the things that you have to do to make your day happen, to get your family going,
Hmm.
get your life going. And this is something that I've heard referenced multiple times by multiple people. It's nothing new. The last time I heard it, I remember my brother-in-law Pat shared something about getting to do things instead of having to do things, and it's very much a mindset shift where it's like, every morning do the same thing. We wake up, got to make breakfast, got to make lunch, got to get kids dressed. And just a simple change in words is you get to do those things every day. Even though you might not remember it a year from now, all those things are that little 1%, or the things that you build, those little tiny building blocks that build up to a greater piece. And that was something I kind of thought about yesterday. I read the page before I left for the airport, and it's like I get to take a drive by myself at night on the highway to the airport, and then spend 45 minutes with Kristen, where we get to just kind of talk and chill, not about anything specific. So, not a new idea, not a big idea, just a little shift.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, it's like a trick. It's a trick of the mind. It's a little perspective switch. It's a little change to just help you help you get through like the hard stuff. But also help you appreciate that, we only get so much time here. We only get so much time with the little kids. Like, most of us that are out of that baby diaper newborn phase, we look at our kids now and would almost give up a lot to just like be able to have that person that is now 16, 17, 12, 8, just revert back to that cute little adorable baby that you can just hold and cuddle. Like I look back at a lot of pictures of me asleep with one of my children on my chest, and like those are, some of the fondest moments of my life. And did I appreciate them for what they were every time I had them? A good amount. Like I really enjoyed that time frame. Uh, but did I realize when each one, like when each one of them, that was their last time doing that? No, not really. Do you see that nowadays? No. So you gotta take those little moments, that garbage time, those car rides where they're chatting you up versus, the day that they put AirPods in and never talk to you again. Um, you got to take them all in
Yeah,
as best you can.
they're all firsts. It's like the first last time, like the first. I will always remember the first time that Kira asked for both headphones in the car. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was almost like the first last time that she totally was not somewhat connected to me in the car. Uh, that almost sticks out more than the hundreds of times that we were engaged with each other in the car.
Yeah.
Um, and would all those conversations be more memorable if I didn't pay attention to that? I don't know. I went to the gym this morning and I saw another dad come in, another guy that I've met before. He's got an 8-month-old. He has an 8-month-old now, and I haven't seen him for about 7 months. So this is like his first day back, I think. He had a beard, so you could tell time has passed, and I remembered his name. I think he remembered mine. Not sure, but I asked about how it's going, and he's like, he's in the stage where now that sleep becomes an issue, so he's struggling
Mhm.
with that. And like my first thought was, wow, I'm nowhere close to that. And when was
Yeah.
the last day that I had to wake up and put my kids back to bed? It's just a fuzzy memory in my head. But he's soaking in that now. So that was a nice little perspective that I got to start the day with, remembering
Yeah.
all.
I mean, look, I think that is also one of the best things about what we're doing right now, and like what I know you're doing and what I'm doing a little bit out in the world is like, Ryan and Blaze created this show where they talk about the stuff that we all go through. But some of us just don't talk out loud about it. And so you and I are doing that. We're getting reminders from people like David who are above us. So we're getting a little heads up on what could come. And then we get these people that come in that have newborns, and we get these reminders of, what used to be. And then, like you said, you have these conversations out in the real world, with people in the gym, and I have it with my subcontractors and stuff like that. And it just helps kind of like let reality sink in a little bit, like give you that perspective that you get to do these things.
Yeah. Uh, moving on to driving here. Mom was talking about how there's like an immediate shift in the type of person that your kid was. My 12-year-old, like I remember the day that she got her phone.
That's
Um,
so cool.
so it's like a not quite a car, but it's like I remember the person she was the day that like her phone arrived, and I was giving her a little tutorial on like the tools that I use on the phone,
Hmm.
and she was soaking it up. She was excited, and then immediately it became like that connection and interaction with friends. And it was almost a little bit too fast for me. I was like, wait, you can still hang out with us, you know?
Yep. Yeah.
Damn phones. But then it's like, when I actually just kind of listen or watch her with her phone, like it's not just mindless scrolling. That is something that I think adults have to remind themselves as we like introduce our kids to technology, that it's not all just brain rot. It's not all just
Hmm.
6, 7. It's like they're interacting and they're doing things. Her and her best friend last night before I left, they were giving themselves uh, European makeovers
Mm.
like that because they'll both watch makeup tutorials,
Yeah.
and
Yep.
then they'll do it on like FaceTime with each other, and it was hilarious. I gotta find it. It's like everything was like tan. Her lips were tan. She had like the high cheekbones makeup on. It was hilarious. And then like they'll have a sleepover, and what are they doing at 1 a.m.? They're using their phones, but they went outside and like they were filming themselves doing these dances on our porch. So
Yeah.
it's not all just, you're not losing your kid all the time to technology. They're figuring out how to interact and share. Totally different
Hmm.
than what we did, but that's a little bit of perspective that I have to remind myself, usually daily, because it's like the screen time gets out of hand.
Yeah.
It's like that's what they do, and they are doing stuff. They are producing. They're not always just consuming. But also it does help to just be aware of what they're doing with their technology.
Yeah. Producing and then learning, engaging. Uh, yeah. There's definitely a lot of good in there too. It, I
There
think it.
can be there can be a lot of good.
Yeah. Yep.
Fly, fruit fly, nailed it.
S-
Um, and I am going to go into school. I think we'll start Monday. I'm going to do a week of gratitude, kind of like Spirit Week for Halloween. We talked about it yesterday. Thought about it on the ride. We're going to do that.
You guys have Tuesday off, Monday
What's
off,
Elvis's birthday?
Veterans Day.
Veterans Day. Right. That's what I
My
meant to say.
kids have Monday and Tuesday off.
We do not, but we do have a week of Thanksgiving break coming up.
Mm,
So,
hmm.
um, so we'll be doing that. Stop motion's good. I don't even know if you clicked on this yet. That's a
I
good
did.
that's a good use right there.
Yeah. I mean, the things that they create are so cool. The way technology is, and the way that they. I mean, that's the good thing about letting them have the devices is it's not all YouTube and video games. Like they do pull out of that YouTube and video game wormhole, and they learn stuff. I mean, that's the thing with YouTube is, yes, there's a bunch of like nonsense, but then there's a whole lot of good in there. There's a whole lot of tutorials. There's a whole lot of teaching moments. Like there is a really great side to YouTube. I mean, like, half the time, even as an adult, where you're like, I don't know how to do this. It's like, okay, well, just YouTube search it and watch a video of someone else doing it and you figure it out.
Yeah.
Like I remember the first time I like wanted to clean my pool filter by myself. I was like, I'll just watch a YouTube video. You know?
Mhm. Yeah, house fixing by YouTube for sure.
Mm-hmm. Procreate. Yeah. Yeah. Procreate's a good one too. For sure. I think that was one of the first apps that I paid for on my kids' devices was Procreate. And just, the having them come up excited, seeing that they learned a new tool or a new way to like twist the image and show me it's yeah.
Oh man, Procreate. I'm in love with Procreate. I love it. I use it just for regular teaching. It's like, I don't know. There's so many things you can do with it, and it's so simple to use. I'm sure you can use it for your stuff too.
Well, I think that's like the VFriends comic guy that draws all these comics that we're all looking at and stuff like that. I
Hmm.
think he does it on Procreate and an iPad.
Yeah. I do a
So
lot of perspective work, like 2 point, 1 point perspective. I mean, if you are inclined and you want to get into it, I'm sure you could do like some interior spaces, but I'm sure there's an app for that as well that
I'm not an artist.
you or your designers use, I'm sure of. Lastly, weather. I walked out of the gym today and it was like that warm fall wind. You know what I'm talking about?
Sure.
That was just like a gust of energy right up my clown hole. Um, carry that into the day.
All right. That's awesome. Well, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Warm, it's been in the 30s. Yeah. I think we're in the 60s here, 70s. It is now. It is now. Um,
Yeah,
new
use it.
new t-shirts to come.
Props to my friends Zach and Neil and Jules and Ange. We use that. We use Clown Hole as part of our conversations almost on the daily. I don't know where it came from. So, I have to get
Patent pending.
going. Dom, I would like to join you in your plan to be on for 7 days in a row as we lead up to Thanksgiving for riches or ruin, depending on our schedule. You
Okay.
want to see how it goes? Should we do it?
I'm
Should
gonna
we
I'm
go?
gonna let's look at this weekend versus next weekend. Which one's busier or not busier, but I mean I'm probably just gonna keep this going and just roll up on here tomorrow and the next day and the next day and just go for a little bit. I'll shoot you messages in the morning.
Yeah, I'll be up.
Cool.
I got
Well,
to get a
thank you
dog
everybody.
because
Appreciate
she's
you for
barking.
coming. Card fishing, I saw you just popped in. Hello, good morning, goodbye, all that stuff. And we will see you tomorrow. Love y'all. Have a great day.
See you, everyone.